Hi, beloveds. This is Tamala, your empowerment partner. And these are our support cards for the month of January 2020. Remember that you get the monthly support cards that we're going to be working with the entire month. And there's also weekly cards that are going to help us move through the month as easily and as supported as we possibly can be. So also make sure that you check out this week's cards. So our first card is going to come from the deck of Sacred Rebels. And we want to know what Sacred Rebel is going to be assisting us. What information is going to be assisting us, is going to be helping us as we move into 2020 after having shaken off and begun integrating the shifts that have occurred last week and begun to really move forward in where our soul intends us to move, where our heart, our divine heart, intends us to move, and where we have chosen, either consciously or unconsciously, to move so that we can fulfill the purpose that we came here to fulfill, in addition to simply being a human and having a human experience. So, what's going to support us this week for that? All right, it's this one. What do you feel? So, this month of January, we want to pay attention, and those of you who are new to this, I'll take a picture of each of the cards and post them in the comments so that you can see them individually. But it's really super important for us to understand as we're moving through the transitions that are happening in the first 120 days of 2020, that we're paying attention to how we feel. And notice also, this is card number 9. 9 is conclusion, it's wrapping up, it's ending, it's completion. And so what we want to do is we really want to start paying attention to what are the feelings that no longer serve us, that we can release, that will allow us to move forward into creating the life that we desire here in 2020 with as much ease and grace as possible. Now, our second card for the month comes from the Archetype deck. And we want to know what archetypes are assisting us, or what archetypes are we releasing in this month of January so that we can move forward into the fulfillment of what we have chosen to do this year. So, the Femme Fatale, and remember, I'm going to take a picture of these so that you can read them yourselves, but it says the light attributes are highlighting the erotic energy of the feminine. Opens your heart when your dependency is rejected. And the shadow attributes are inappropriate use of sensuality or sexuality, attachment to money and power. So what we want to do, feeling, and this is interesting because feelings are also considered to be part of water, which is also considered to be feminine. And so when we're allowing our emotions to dictate where we're going, what we want, what we're looking for, they tend to have more credence in these second chakra areas of power and money and eroticism. And what we need to understand as a whole culture, especially in the United States, is we are shifting our awareness around money and sexuality because, you know, women were sex objects, right? And women didn't have any money. That was part of the Adam and Eve paradigm that's changing now. All of that is coming to a conclusion. And that's why there was so much around the Me Too movement and around equal pay and around women being individuals and being able to own homes on their own and get credit cards on their own and borrow money on their own, because there was a time when that couldn't happen and women couldn't vote and women were property. And so when that was all happening, women had to use their sexuality to attract money and influence and resources. Not all women, but it was a method that was used to wield power. And so as we're moving into the feminine balance, right? Because we're moving into the paradigm of divine sacred partnership and divine union. So that means that the male and the female are going to be equal. And what we're doing is, as females, we're learning how to use our erotic energy to juice our second chakra so that we can then use our second chakra to create and manifest what it is that we want. So the second chakra is now used internally instead of externally. So I hope that makes sense to you. Now our third card for the month is from the Divine Feminine deck. And all right, who is going to support us this month as we learn this recalibration around our feelings and our second chakra areas? Who's going to really help us integrate the change that we need to perceive so that it becomes true for us. All right, so there's two of them here, I think. Or is it just a really thick card? It must be just a really thick card. All right, so this is the card, and remember, I'm going to post a picture in the comments, and I'm going to say the name wrong. Hadija, the mother of believers. And here is your mantras. I am spiritually and financially abundant. I provide heaven and earth for myself. Wow. What were we just talking about? When we're using this energy in the proper way, in the most aligned and supportive way, what happens is then we begin to create our own instances of creation and manifestation, which includes financial prosperity, relationship prosperity, and all that good stuff. So now our fourth card for the month is going to come from my new deck, one of my new decks, Earth Magic. And so I love the back of these cards. Aren't they beautiful? So as we're moving into our feelings, as we're releasing and resolving all of those feelings we no longer need, as we're generating our second chakra resources internally and using our sexuality and our second chakra fuel to create the life that we desire internally instead of expelling it out into the world and dissipating the energy. And we're calling on the mother of believers, and our mantra is, I am spiritually and financially abundant, and I provide heaven and earth for myself. Who's going to support us? And it is the wolf. And the energy of using our instincts. Now, if you believe or work with animal totems, it would be a good idea for you to look this up. You can just type in wolf totem animal on Google and find out what it means for you, because everybody's going to get something different from this. But the primary information is that instinct, that following what it is that our soul most desires for us, and then figuring out how to create that in a way that's going to be supported through logic and clear access. We're not going to be deceived. We're not going to be we're not going to be manipulated. We're not going to be distracted. We're not going to be confused or misaligned or misunderstood or misunderstand things. We really want to connect to our instinct and move forward. And so our last card for the month is going to come from another new deck. It's my Dragon Oracle. And so what dragon energy is going to be most supportive for us this month as we move and shift and integrate and change and come into our wholeness and fullness as feminine beings. And when I say as feminine beings, it also includes people who happen to be male gender, because all beings have the feminine energy within them. So we got two dragons. So the first one is the deep blue dragon. And again, I'll post the picture in the comments. It keeps you safe by clearing your pathway. Trust that you are protected and that you walk on a path of light. Okay? And then the next one is the crystal yellow dragon. It opens you to higher learning and wisdom. You expand your crown chakra for illumination, and you walk the higher spiritual path. So that's where we're going. We're protected as we get to this place that we're moving toward by the end of this month. We should have clarity around what we want to do for this year. You know, everybody tries to do all of this stuff on the 1st of January, and Spirit does not give two hoots about a date on a calendar. The timing that's right for you is the timing that's right for you. And that's why they wanted to do this not on January 1st, but on today, because today is the day that most people are returning to work, which means they're engaging their new thoughts, their new emotions, their new experiences in their normal habitats of their working environment. It's easy to make changes when we're by ourselves. Well, as easy as as it is to change. But when we're having to do that change while we're still working with the same people, while we're still having the same experiences with our work environment, with our family environment, with all of these different experiences that have not in themselves changed yet, then it can become more difficult. And so what we're doing here, remember, we're concentrating on what we are feeling and ending those feelings that no longer serve us. We're releasing those feelings that no longer serve us. We're moving into using our sensuality, our second chakra power source towards healing and releasing any belief systems that we have around money or finances or manifestation or creation or children. We're providing heaven and earth for ourselves. We're paying attention to our instincts. We're knowing that we are protected, and we're opening to the higher learning and wisdom that's available to us as we move towards this next level. So that's for the whole month of January.
Don't forget to like this video, share it with anyone that you feel could really be supported by it. And also, don't forget to comment and let me know what you found supportive.